All right, welcome officially to season 4, episode 10 of the weekly Gridiron podcast. And why I say officially is because y'all don't know the trouble we've gone through with Zoom. We recorded this yesterday, not once, but twice. We only got to about the second game of our predictions, but Zoom crashed on us. So today, Dante's in a new location in the house. We're in the same spots, but we're gonna hope it works today. Um, Prayers that it does. But anyways, as of now, we are your hosts, Adam,
Dante?
And Luke.
and thank you for tuning in. Technology working or not. But anyways, let's get into it. Starting out with the week 8 fantasy football leaders by yours truly, the very proud Jonathan Taylor fantasy football owner. Let's start out with the running backs because he was the leader this week overall with 37.4 fantasy points. His fifth appearance of the year on the top ranks of the list that I make. Running backs behind him, James Cook with 33.6 against my Panthers. I don't want to talk about it. He's had now two appearances on the year. And then behind him, finally having his breakout game, Mr. Saquon Barkley, 33.4 against the Giants, because of course. Then on to the QBs. Jordan Love, this week's leader, 28.3 fantasy points. Dante, I know you're a Love fan, but he also did that against your Steelers. So I'm sure it's like, no pun intended, a love-hate relationship there.
Just for that game. I want the Packers to. I want Jordan Love to play well. Love that guy. He's so good.
Of course. And then rest of the quarterbacks, Drake May with 26.28, his second appearance of the year. Good for Luke, of course. And Jalen Hurts with also his second appearance of the year with 25.36 points. Wide receivers led by Troy Franklin with 26.9 against the Cowboys. Rashee Rice not holding any rust with that suspension. Pretty speedy turnaround for him. If you know, you know, with 25 and a half fantasy football points. And then Michael Pittman Jr. with 23 and a half as well for the Colts. All three wide receivers' first appearance of the year. And then those who celebrated National Tight Ends Day in style the most. We had Tucker Kraft with 33.3, his second appearance of the year. Travis Kelce with 21.9, of course, the day after National Tight Ends Day because they played on a Monday, but it still counts. And then Aronde Gadsden the second with 18.7 on Thursday Night Football, his second appearance of the year. So,
Nice.
yeah, that was crack two at reading the fantasy leaders this week, and hopefully the last one. So,
Hopefully, it's
And
only going to be the second time. But
and Dante, you mentioned it last time. I don't want it to die with the past Zoom calls, but
oh yeah,
Jonathan Taylor doing that on 12 carries.
yes,
yeah,
Ridiculous.
insane.
kind of crazy.
Just ridiculous.
Very scared
Any-
for this coming Sunday. But it's okay.
Anyways, I wonder who you guys think I'm going to predict for Thursday Night Football. It's almost like you know. But anyways, first game of week 9. That is right, week 9. After this week, we will officially be halfway through the 2025 regular season. Insane. Just insane. It's flying by so fast. It always does. But anyways, we still got football to talk about. We got the Ravens and the Dolphins, a very interesting Thursday night game. Both teams coming off wins. Of course, I don't know who's more impressive. The Ravens beat the Bears by double digits with Tyler Huntley in at quarterback. The Dolphins blew out the Falcons, which of course I appreciate. Tua remembered how to play football. But this week you have Lamar Jackson coming back for the Ravens, and that leads me to believe they will win this game. Listen, I love the Dolphins. I love how well they played on Sunday, but I can't also not acknowledge that Kirk Cousins was in at quarterback for Atlanta and Drake London was out. Of course, that definitely impacts things on the offensive end for Atlanta. Not that it would have changed the game by any means, but the Ravens have some good vibes right now, and I just like their vibes a lot better than Miami's in this one. So I'm going to take the Ravens on the road, but I could see Miami maybe making this a close one. Maybe there's some rust on Lamar Jackson's end. Hasn't played in a while, but either way, give me Baltimore.
Yeah, I'll take Baltimore as well. For many reasons that Adam just mentioned. Lamar being back. Um, Miami, that was a good win against Atlanta. However, like Adam mentioned, Drake London out, Kirk Cousins in. I mean, how much can you really value that win? I mean, obviously a ton if you're Miami because you've been struggling all year. But really doesn't do much for me personally. It doesn't really move the needle for me. I like Lamar to come in to Miami and look like his normal self. And I think Lamar is just going to make this whole offense run much smoother. Derrick Henry's going to be better. The receivers are going to look better. Um, Still some question marks on the Ravens defense. Roquan Smith came back from injury last week. How much is how much does he have to shake the rust off? We'll see. But I do like Baltimore beating Miami.
Yep, I agree pretty easily here. The Ravens looked really good last week without Lamar. Obviously, getting back an MVP like that is going to make a difference. And the Dolphins' performance last week, with the asterisk of the Falcons' health situation, is kind of what I expected from them uh, the entire year when we were talking about them in the offseason, but that hasn't been the case. Inconsistencies, I wouldn't trust a performance like that to carry over and to keep showing itself in weeks coming, especially against a good team like Baltimore, uh, who really knows they have to fight and claw for every single win to get back into the playoff picture this year. With Lamar, this should be pretty easy. Give me Baltimore.
And we're on to Sunday. First game of an 8-game 1 o'clock p.m. slate. Again, so many 1 o'clock games to follow, but that is the best slate after all. I used to say it was 4 p.m., but
It's
by
easy.
4 p.m. this year, I'm just dozing off. And especially last week, there were really no good 4 p.m. games. So yeah, 1 p.m. is definitely where it's at now. But we're starting out with the Niners and the Giants. An interesting game here. Of course, you hate to see what happened to Cam Scatterbo on Sunday. Done for the year, about a 4 to 6 month recovery for him. But Tyrone Tracy gonna probably fit that offense like a glove. He was pretty good for them last year before Scatterbo came in and took over. But now it's Tyrone Tracy's chance again. But I kind of like the Niners in this game. The Giants just, I mean, they're a fine team, just not that great in my opinion. Probably the best two-win team in the NFL, unless I'm forgetting somebody. But yeah, the Niners, they're definitely a better team. Mac Jones not playing that well recently, but I think this could be a good get right game for him if he does play. And if it's Brock Purdy, I think Brock Purdy will have a good game. Either way, I think the quarterbacks will lean on their skill position players. Christian McCaffrey, expect him to have a big game here. Niners defense has been playing well. Expect that to continue. And yeah, give me San Fran. I wonder who you guys are going to pick.
Go for it, Luke.
Well, you guys already know, and this was a surprise at the time, but isn't anymore. I'm going to go with what Adam said was quite a compliment. One of the better two-win teams in the league. Give me the Giants. I'm going to ride the cold hand that's Mac Jones. I called it last week. I really don't trust him to continue to play good like he played to start this little insanity run he's on. Um, it would be one thing if the 49ers were getting back some health, if Brock Purdy was coming back, if the Giants didn't have more to play for. Losing Cam Scottaboo obviously hurts. He's really Dante. I'm going to steal the word you used last time when this didn't, uh, when the Zoom crashed. He's really been a spark for them. Their two young players have really kind of woken the offense, excited the fan base, excited the players, giving them something to play for. But I do think if healthy, Tyrone Tracy will be able to plug and play just just about with the same efficiency as Cam Scottaboo is playing with. And at home, I just like the Giants here. They they have been in some really close games with some good teams, and the 49ers, they're a good team, but I don't think they're a great team, and I think they're very vulnerable to get knocked off by an underdog, especially all the way across the country in New York. So give me the Giants.
Yeah, I agree with Luke here for many of the reasons he just said. But to go back to Adam's point, in my opinion, I would say the Ravens are the best two-win team in football right now.
Yeah,
Okay,
you know
yeah,
what?
I forgot about
It's easy
Baltimore.
to forget that,
It's
but
easy to forget that.
It's easy to forget that Baltimore has two wins.
Yeah,
It doesn't make
right.
any sense.
yeah, pretty crazy. But Giants are also probably up there.
As
Like,
far as two-win teams go,
yeah, yeah,
quite the compliment.
yeah. But yeah, I like the Giants, and I agree with Luke. I think Tyron Tracy is going to come in, and we're not going to notice much of a fall off. Maybe some in terms of like schematics, because they might play Tracy a little bit different than they play Scatterbo, because of their difference in physicality. But I like Dart to come in and to MetLife and knock off the Niners. And I really don't believe in Mac Jones too much. I really don't know if Brock Purdy exists at this point because it seems like Mac Jones is just the starter every week. It's pretty funny. Um, but yeah, I like the Giants here.
Okay. Now let's get on to some mystery picks because I this was where Zoom crashed yesterday. So now I don't know what we're gonna do, but I guess this one isn't really a mystery. We've got the Chargers and the Titans in Tennessee. I'm not going to waste any time here. Listen, I hate to keep doing this to the Titans, but this is my lock of the week. I'm picking the Chargers. Yeah, last week LA looked really good on Thursday Night Football. Honestly, a lot better than I thought they would. I was not watching the game too closely because I had the Pacers and Thunder on my main TV, but I caught some glances at Thursday Night Football, and every time I did, it was just the Chargers dominating. And I mean, Carson Wentz was playing injured in that game, but yeah, it was a great get right game for LA, and now they have an even better one with Tennessee. So yeah, and I was looking at this week's matchups, and I'm like, wow, what is really the lock this week? And I hate to keep doing this to Tennessee, but like it's an easy pick. Yeah, Chargers.
Yeah, I agree with Adam. Chargers here. Titans, we talked about it yesterday. Seemed like in contention for the worst team in football. Um, yeah, Chargers look good. And I'm sure they'll do enough to get a win in Tennessee. So
Yeah, it's very hard to disagree, and there would be no reason to. This should be a pretty easy win for tennis for not for Tennessee, for LA. Um,
If Tennessee wins, we're gonna point back to that moment right there.
I know ball, clearly,
Freudian
but
slip.
I feel like we should make some sort of Tennessee Titans rule. Like you can only lock against the same team like twice in a row, and then you have to
That
pick
you
a
know
different
what?
lock or something.
That'd be solid. The
All right,
Tennessee Titans.
so the
Okay,
Tennessee Titans rule. Okay, let's just
you're
remember this.
on.
Let's just remember this moment. We've all locked against the Tennessee Titans. I don't think we all did last week, but you haven't, Dante.
Dante and
They're
I did. I
they
thought
are
we
my
did
lock
last week,
against it.
Dante.
I have another one.
Okay, well,
Okay.
for the sake of kind of establishing this new rule, let's just next week try to pick a different lock.
Okay.
And then we'll try to keep track of like okay, the Tennessee Titans rule. You can lock against the same team 2 weeks in a row, but the week after you have to hop off and lock against someone else. And then you can go back to that same team the week following, but it would be very easy is the point to pick against the Titans every single week, as we already do, but you got to get a little bit creative and you got to throw some luck into the air with these lock of the week. So,
Okay, well, I have good news for you guys. We literally cannot pick the Titans as our lock next week because they're on a bye. So,
Okay, perfect.
look at that. So, with that being said, I'm going to take advantage of that and make the Chargers my lock of the week right now.
okay.
Fire.
You know, it's a rule for a reason. It's a pretty easy layup.
Mhm.
All right.
Awesome.
Now we have an NFC North rivalry, the Vikings and the Lions. Of course, last year this rivalry was a lot more entertaining, but still fun to watch. We do have some Lions news. Speaking of Detroit, this morning they extended Aiden Hutchinson for 4 years and $180 million. It is the second highest non-quarterback contract in NFL history. Hasn't cleared Micah Parsons, but easily cleared TJ Watt. So I guess TJ Watt is now the third or maybe even the fourth. I don't know. But yeah, good to see Hutch get paid. Definitely deserves an extension. 180 seems like a lot, but sure. You got to pay to keep those guys around. But as far as this game goes, the Lions are cruising right now. I listen, I'm gonna play my apologies card here. I was wrong about Detroit. All right. I picked Minnesota to win this division at the beginning of the year. I could not have been more wrong. The Lions, two new coordinators, haven't lost a step. You can argue their defense has looked better since Aaron Glenn has left. Yeah. Give me Detroit. This one is easy for me. It's not my lock of the week, obviously, because we know what it is. But yeah, Detroit should definitely win here because even though McCarthy's coming back, I don't trust either quarterback for the Vikings right now. So yeah, give me Detroit. This should be an easy one for them.
Go for it, Luke.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I am one of those tinfoil hat conspiracy theorists that the fact that Carson Wentz was playing the past week or two was a soft benching, was a we're not going to rush you back because we aren't sure we really trust you. So let's see what Carson Wentz can do for us. More supported by the fact that Carson Wentz is now hurt, and I'm pretty sure he played the full game. So uh, either way, JJ McCarthy back in the game here. Little sidebar, must really kind of be weird for Vikings fans to look back and last year your quarterback room was Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones, two of
Uh,
the two of the hottest quarterbacks in the National Football League. Um,
Finally taking the Panthers away from that
yeah,
with Baker and Sam
Baker and
Darnold.
Sam Darnold.
So we're not the last example of that finally, thank God.
Nobody could really blame them for running it with JJ here. The rookie, you need to see what you have out of him, but we've all seen a little bit from him, and what I've seen, I don't love. So pretty easily here, give me Detroit.
yeah, I'll take Detroit as well. Not much to say here. Vikings not looking great at the moment. Defense not looking like the Vikings defense we've seen even in previous weeks. Lions really look good. I like them a lot at home.
All right, Luke, take it away, man.
Yeah, I guess we didn't get to this game last time. I'm trying to think of things to say. Just that the Patriots continue to look good. They continue to impress. There are obviously some bullet points from last game, like Myles Garrett getting 5 sacks. Now, if you don't read into it very much, you could point at, Will Campbell. He's really struggling. He might be a bust. That's really not the case at all. Only two of those sacks came against Will Campbell, and they're both after Hunter Henry laid down some really lazy chip blocks. So, Will Campbell has continued to look good. Myles Garrett is obviously just violently a menace and a dog, and you can't really do much to contain him. And we still won by 3 scores, so that's just really a bullet point to be thrown in there. The offense looks great. Once we took a 2-score lead, making it 16-7, we really never took our foot off the gas up until the end there. Drake May continues to look awesome. The deep ball to Kayshon Boutte might be a top 5 connection in the league right now. There's a lot of people uh, throwing around rumors that we should trade for wide receiver one, your Chris Olaves of the world. What if we have one? Kayshon Boutte has looked awesome. That
Yes.
deep ball connection has been there consistently. Drake May is not only connecting on the deep ball some of the time, he's not only connecting on the deep ball better than anybody else in football, but it's his most efficient uh, target target area of the field. He's been he's been stellar with the deep ball. I keep using the same words. He's looked unprecedentedly good. Um, when you put it into the context of being a second year player, especially after winning 8 games in the last 2 years as a franchise. The running has been good. Really, not many complaints all around, and it's kind of interesting to see as a team. Now we're on a 5-game win streak, I think it is, selling off parts a little bit. Keon White goes to the 49ers. Kyle Duggar goes to the Steelers. We touched about that a little bit off air. I'm sure we'll talk about it a tiny bit on air, maybe when the Steelers come up. But getting a couple picks for players that weren't really fitting the scheme anymore. So to put that into the window, into the context of this game, the Falcons coming off of a bad loss to a bad team. Obviously, the health was a factor in that game, but in Gillette Stadium, I have no doubt in my mind the Patriots are going to continue to roll and continue to pad that lead in the AFC East and continue to, solidify themselves as real players in the AFC conference. It
Yeah,
feels great to say, fellas. Feels
yeah,
great.
yeah. You deserve it.
Sure.
Well, do you maybe?
Not really,
No,
actually.
no.
We really
You've had
don't,
some tough recent years, but
but I'll take it.
yeah. Anyway, yeah, I like the Patriots here too. Falcons are, but that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Drake May, hopefully, in my eyes, I hope he wins the MVP. And he's really playing like it right now.
Yeah,
Kayshon Boutte is actually balling, which is just insane, like we've mentioned.
yeah.
Um, and even if they didn't have him, Diggs is like playing pretty well as well. So I like the Pats.
I will mention that I'm not getting my hopes up for Drake May to win the MVP,
Honestly, dude, like you have a
which
really
is
good
fine.
quarterback, so who cares? You know,
Yeah, it's a second year player. MVP was never in my wildest dreams for this year. And I think with how good they've looked, it probably will be Patrick Mahomes' award to lose right now. But that's,
it
like I
sucks.
just
They're
said,
good.
this was,
It sucks. They're so good. I hate it.
well, yeah, I know. Yeah. But that was never even something on my radar this year. It just goes to show how awesome this season has been. And last week felt like a trap game. The week before felt like a trap game. The week before felt like a trap game. We won them all by a combined score of like 50. So
Yeah,
I expect no different this week.
winning potential trap games is the best feeling.
Oh
Truly.
yeah.
All right, Adam.
I won't waste much time here. as I said to you guys before the episode yesterday, the Falcons might be the most inconsistent team in the NFL. They can't decide whether they want to be good or bad. They are just flat out mid, and the Patriots are balling right now. So yeah, give me New England. Easy pick here. All right, Dante, go off.
I'm not going to go off. Where do I start? Well, first, if anybody saw our WG story uh,
He did great.
this past Sunday, I gave you guys some updates. Um, Pretty fun game to be at. Really cool to see Aaron Rodgers live. Pretty cool to see Jordan Love live. I'm a big Jordan Love fan, as we mentioned before. Um, First half of this game, first possession, defense comes out, gets a three and out. I'm thinking, oh my God, we're back. Like this is going to be really good. Um, First half was kind of slow. Uh, we did only surrender a touchdown in the first half, and DK Metcalf had a touchdown plus some Boz field goals, so it was 16-7 going into halftime. And after that, it just seemed like everything just fell apart defensively, which is really disappointing. Um, you know, and I really can't blame it on the players we have in there because on paper, this is one of the best defenses in the NFL, I think. But
Certainly one of the most expensive.
it's the most expensive. I just think schematically we are just like not adjusting, not adapting to our opponents, just like putting the same stuff out there, hoping it works, and it's insane. Like I've never seen a wide receiver or a tight end as wide open as Tucker Kraft was like 6 times. Like it's absurd. He's playing like one of the best tight ends in the league, and you just leave him open. We got to stop giving up the little dump offs and then not being able to tackle because they're getting 7, 8 yards per play off those little dump off passes. It's insane. However, I will say you can't blame the refs because I think that's like kind of a cop out whenever your team isn't playing well. But genuinely, it was really bad. It was really rough. There was a very crucial offsides call that we thought was a free play that didn't get called. Rodgers was throwing his hands up. And if anybody knows what an offsides would look like, it's Aaron Rodgers because he has one of the best quarterback cadences in the league and is the king of the free play. Another one, Tucker Kraft shoved Juan Thornhill to the ground, catches the ball, goes 50 yards. The most blatant offensive pass interference I've ever seen. Did we deserve to lose this game? Absolutely. But at times we did get very screwed over. Yeah, defense, I don't know what to say. We're playing awful football right now. Um, Deshaun Elliott's going to miss a few weeks, which hurts. He's one of our better tacklers and better run defenders. But we did trade for Kyle Duggar, which great, pretty good run stopping safety. He's a pretty good tackler. Um, I like it because Juan Thornhill and Chuck Clark haven't been playing great. You need a slight band-aid over the Deshaun Elliott injury. But truthfully, I want to see more from our pass rush. I want to see Nick Herbig get some more stabs. Only played like 21 this past week and then 23 the week before. Alex Highsmith is not good. I can't stress that enough. The guy does I almost swore. My apologies. The guy does nothing, man. I can't think in your mind. I know you guys aren't really Steeler fans, but think in your mind. When's the last time you saw Alex Highsmith get a sack? 2 years ago against Cleveland. That's really
Been a
probably what it
while.
is. The guy does not get sacks. He gets no pressure on the quarterback. He barely stops the run. TJ Watt, $150 million for what? You're not showing up. You're not doing anything. It's absurd. The only true guy on that front seven that's really getting pressure on the quarterback is Nick Herbig, who's a second year, and Derek Harmon, who's your first round pick. Guys, this is really bad, and they need to wake up right now. And I feel like as mad as I'm getting right now, they could flip a switch just like that. However, I don't think it's going to be against Indy, because even if the Steelers are playing great defense, Indy's really good. And going into this game, I'm not like expecting much. Um, and if we lose this game, I won't be too upset because Indy's just beating everybody right now. Jonathan Taylor is an MVP candidate. Um, I did like how the Steelers' offense looked at times. I do think we could still be an explosive offense in this league. We have succeeded against the current uh, Indy defensive coordinator in previous years, putting up like average like 300 yards per game, 27 points per game. We really know how to, you know, move the ball on this DC. Um, but Shane Steichen also owns our defense. So um, I'm going to take the Colts in this one. First time picking against the Steelers this year. And even if the Steelers were playing well, I probably would still pick the Colts because they're just a really good team. But bottom line is Steelers need to fix something, change something, and do it fast because we can't expect to, win the AFC North, let alone make the playoffs. Um, Steelers really need to wake up, but I like Indy in this one. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm also going to go with Indianapolis. And if this is the first game you're picking against the Steelers, like you said, it's a reasonable one. The Colts are 7-1 right now. They're balling out. I would have a hard time picking almost any team against them right now. So it's not just the fact that the Steelers have been struggling, and I'm sure they will figure it out. They've got a rough schedule ahead, but Tomlin gets big wins in there, and I'm sure they'll get some. This week will be tough, but yeah, I am going to take the Colts, but I expect the Steelers to make this a game. They fought hard in the game against the Colts last year, even though they lost on the road. Funny enough for Joe Flacco, because I feel like he always beats them now. But yeah, give me the Colts, but I expect the Steelers to make this a game.
I
Luke, what do you think?
appreciate your
I do kind
optimism.
of I do kind of expect it to sort of be a game as well, but not because of the Steeler defense. I think this is going to be another one of those games where the Steeler offense is going to have to score a lot of points to win, and it's just not going to come together. They're going to have to play pretty much mistake-free football. It's hard for anybody to do. Um, and the vibes are low. I want to see a turnaround. I really do. And maybe Daniel Jones is due for a bad game, but Jonathan Taylor looks like the best player in football right now, if it's not Myles Garrett or somebody else. So what you said about not getting the pressure on the quarterback, if that remains to be the case, I see the Steelers having no chance because if you want to get to Daniel Jones, if you want him to have his off game, you're going to need to pressure him. And even if you do that, you then need to stop the run as well. To do both those things consistently and to not leave good players like Tyler Warren wide open all day. A lot needs to change really fast this week, and it needs to happen all game. And I just don't have much confidence in that. So give me
Oh, yeah,
Indianapolis.
Luke, how do you think you'll do against the Steelers on Sunday?
Please, like,
I
sit
don't
down.
know. I'll be at the Penn State bars on Thursday night, so I'm gonna be a quick turnaround. Little sidebar. Did I tell you, Dante, that I'm going out for Halloween as Tyler Warren?
No way.
Yeah,
Really? That's
yeah.
awesome.
I bought football gloves and a headband and everything. So
Are you making like what kind of jersey are you wearing?
my Tyler Warren jersey.
Oh yeah, you have one. That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
So sick.
So yeah, Adam, how will I do on Sunday? I don't know. Quick turnaround. Depends on how fast I can drink a bunch of water and liquid IV. But
So Tyler
against that
Warren is
Steelers,
questionable for Sunday.
against that Steelers secondary, you know.
Come on, don't do that. How Duggar pick six. Okay, it's happening.
All right. Well, give me Indy. Give me Indy.
All right.
All right. Next game we have is the Broncos and the Texans, both teams coming off wins, big wins, you could argue, guys. What do we think?
I feel pretty confident about this. I picked the Texans win last week. They looked great. CJ Stroud had his best game probably since his rookie year. And then you have how the Broncos looked. They looked fantastic. I'm not a Broncos fan. I don't particularly like Bo Nix. I, along with many people, don't particularly like Sean Payton at all. And I forget what ended up becoming of it, but Pat Surtain got hurt last week. Doesn't matter. Away doesn't matter. Give me the Broncos. They look really good, and I wish they didn't.
Yeah, Broncos are sick. Texans did look good. Titans look like really
Yeah.
not good. But I like the Broncos here. Their defense still really good. Um, yeah, Troy Franklin got in the end zone, which is sick. It seems like the receiving core is really growing week by week. Cortland Sutton is still that one. Um, yeah, I think the Broncos really look like a good football team right now. So I'll go with them against, also a team who's also trending up a little bit in Houston, but I like Denver.
All right, fellas. Well, this is my upset of the week. If you noticed yesterday, I said I was going to be taking a page out of somebody's book. Well, Luke, I'm taking a page out of your book from last week's upset, and I'm going Houston this week.
Nice.
Yeah, just a gut feeling. It was hard to pick an upset this week, but I like this one. Denver has looked really good, but it's any given Sunday. Stroud is looking really good right now. I believe they're getting Nico Collins back. Going to be down Surtain for a while, so that Broncos defense might look a little bit worse. It might be harder to guard the wide receivers. So, yeah, why not? Give me Houston. But I expect this to be close. I don't expect this to be easy. So, don't think I'm hating on Denver here, but yeah, give me Houston. Why not?
Fire.
All right, we got an interconference game here. Bears and Bengals, two animals going at it. I did read this morning that Joe Flacco now has some sort of injury designation. I'm going to look further into it
I think it's
to officially
PCL,
say
PCL sprain.
yes, that is it. PCL strain that makes him questionable for the game on Sunday, which could mean we have Jake Browning back out there, which is not what Bengals fans want. And I'm just going to eliminate all speculation. Joe Flacco in, Joe Flacco out. Either way, I was going with the Bears because I trust them a little more. After last week, listen, it was not Flacco's fault, certainly, that they lost to the Jets, but yeah, I'd have a hard time picking the Bengals after that one. Even though the Bears lost, the Bears still, to me, are kind of underrated. Caleb Williams ain't playing that bad. They've got some playmakers. Bengals defense stinks. Yeah, give me Chicago.
Yeah, I like Chicago too. If Jake Browning plays, this is really, really bad. Yeah, I like the Bears. I think the Bears just had a down game. Tyler Huntley gave the Ravens a spark against them. I think the Bears defense is still capable of being pretty good. I still believe in Caleb Williams. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bears here.
Obviously, I'm going with the Bears as well. This is the Bengals, potentially without Joe Flacco we're talking about. But let me just take a moment to hate watch a little bit. I like Caleb Williams. He's a good quarterback. But let's not like act like the world has flipped over for him. I have some stats. Through 7 games last year, he's completing 62.8% of his passes for 1448 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 85 passer rating. This year, he's completing 62% of his passes for 1600 yards, 9 touchdowns, and a 90 passer rating. He's pretty much the same quarterback as he was last year. Ben Johnson has just opened up that offense a little bit, and Roma Dunze has stepped into a major role. And that defense has looked better, and they've been more competitive. They have the right vibes in the locker room. And I think they are undoubtedly a more competitive team in a better place than they were at this point last year. However, I'm not going to be too quick to sing anybody's praises. We'll see what happens this week. Will he be able to carve up what's obviously a terrible defense? If he does, I'll be the first to say that he had a really good day. But doesn't matter if he only goes 10 for 15 with 150 yards. This could be a two-score victory for the Bears.
All right. Okay. What on God's green earth do I want to say about the Panthers right now? I can really speak from two different point of views here, and I will a little bit, but I'm going to speak a lot more from one different side. All right. I just want to start out by getting it out of the way. Andy Dalton, man, what in the world was that? You did not look good, and I was hoping you'd keep us in there. It wouldn't look that different without Bryce Young out there, and man, it did. Oh my gosh. He didn't particularly have a great or have a bad game stat wise, had almost 200 yards passing, did throw a pick, but if you watch some of the film from that game, some of the decisions he made, oh my gosh, like you're not Lamar Jackson, bro. Don't try and evade the pocket. You're 37 years old. Throw it out of bounds or take a sack. And he took plenty of sacks and just bad plays overall. Like he took us out of the game, legitimately. Bryce Young haters had a bad day on Sunday because that guy definitely elevates this offense to a higher level, whether that's winning football or not. Because Andy Dalton just did not look good. Good news is Bryce did some work on the sideline last week. Is looking a lot better. It's looking like he could play this week in Green Bay, and I'm really hoping he can because if Dalton has to go again, this would have been my lock of the week. Because yeah. But anyways, the other side I'm going to talk from is listen. Don't freak out. We are still 500. We are still 4-4. We We're still in the wild card hunt. If you looked at the graphic on Monday Night Football, the Carolina Panthers logo was under the in the hunt section. We are 8 games complete. Did you really think we'd be there after 8 games? I certainly didn't. So I will take that. I was not expecting a win against Buffalo anyway, and I'm not expecting one here. We play the Saints in week 10. We could definitely rebound and beat the Saints and still be 5-5 after 10 weeks. Listen, don't close the book on us yet. Don't freak out. I'm not saying we're going to go anywhere crazy, but as far as this game goes, I mean, the Packers looked incredible on Sunday Night Football, especially in that second half. Lambeau is one really tough place to play. I get Bryce Young's best game from his rookie year was against the Packers at home, but that was at home. This is at Lambeau. This is a different story. Green Bay is going to win this one, and I fully expect it, which is completely fine. So,
Yeah, I talked a little bit about Green Bay before. They looked really good. Jordan Love is really, I think, an underrated QB. Tucker Kraft is playing like the best tight end in football right now, even though that was an offensive PI, and we'll say that again. I expect Josh Jacobs to run the ball well here. Packers defense is very good. Edgerrin Cooper had a very good game. Pretty underrated guy on their defense. Michael Parsons was slightly quiet, but um, I still expect him to play well. Um, Sorry, Adam, but I am going to go with the Packers.
it's fine.
Yeah, I have to do the same as well. You were right, Adam. Andy Dalton looked maybe the worst quarterback performance across the league all year. Just held on to the ball way too long.
Jake Browning was bad.
Yeah, okay, Jake Browning was bad, but like Andy Dalton,
Dalton
ridiculously
wasn't
bad.
good. No, he
Um,
wasn't.
Holding on to the ball way too long, running into sacks in situations where you can't run into sacks, like in the red zone with the time winding down and no timeouts. It just completely non-competitive football. So with Bryce Young playing, it might slightly make it a closer game, but the Packers are a very good football team with a confidence boosting win under their belt now. So in Lambeau, they're going to wrap that one up pretty easily.
All right. Now, this would have been my lock of the week if I didn't pick Chargers and Titans, but we've got the Rams hosting the Saints here. The Saints making the quarterback change this week. Obviously, Spencer Rattler has been benched. Tyler Shuck is now the quarterback one, their second round pick from last year's draft. This is literally coughing baby versus coughing baby. I'm not phased at all by this. Uh, yeah, it doesn't matter if you throw Spencer Rattler, Tyler Shuck, or myself out there. None of us are beating the Rams at home. Yeah, give me LA. This is still pretty easy. The Saints might be the worst team in football, although I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, give me LA. Pretty easy here.
Yeah, Saints are butt, lock of the week. Give me the Rams.
There we go.
Yeah, give me my Super Bowl pick. The Rams are going to continue to look amazing. Yeah, no doubt about it.
Cool. Easy.
Don't need to spend a lot of time on that. I guess I should have said on to the 4 o'clock slate. That was our first 4 p.m. game, but this is our second one of three. We've got the Jaguars and we've got the Raiders, two teams that have kind of been unimpressive lately. Definitely more on the Raiders side. Jaguars coming off a bye. Raiders also coming off a bye. So fresh off a bye for both teams. Yeah, there's just not much to say about this game, honestly. I'm gonna take Jacksonville. Yeah, I'm kind of losing hope on the Raiders here. Geno Smith just hasn't looked good. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Not much to say here. Give me Jacksonville.
Yeah. The Raiders, I continue to think that if they weren't paying Geno Smith so much money, and if they had a better backup than Kenny Pickett, we might have seen a change by now already. That's how bad they've looked. Let's just be honest. And Brock Bowers is having a down year. I mean, Ashton Gentry's like okay, but at home, even, excuse me, at home, even, give me the Jags.
I was gonna say before Dante goes, I did see they're working to activate Aiden O'Connell off IR, whether that makes a difference or
Mm,
not. But
I guess.
and he might not be their backup for much longer, but that doesn't really move the needle that much for me.
Yeah, I like Jacksonville. I think their defense is going to torment Geno Smith. Really disappointing what's happened to Geno Smith. He was pretty serviceable quarterback in Seattle.
He wrote back now.
really pretty
Yeah.
good. But in Vegas, everything's downhill. Brock Bowers not having anywhere close to the year he had last year. I like Jacksonville.
I even saw somebody, a Raiders fan on TikTok, making a Jimmy G Raiders edit. Like we don't know how good we had it. And I was like, are you kidding? Has it really gotten to that point?
At times whenever I feel really down about the Steelers, I look at things like that and I'm like, it could be worse. It could
Yeah,
really be worse.
it could really be
But
worse.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, now we got the game of the week, and
Why
I
isn't
just
this
want to say,
prime time?
Yes.
what'd you say, Luke?
Why isn't this prime time? Why isn't
That's
this
what I
10?
was just gonna say. Why is this not Sunday or Monday Night Football? I don't get it. But yeah, this is gonna be a fun one. Chiefs, Bills, these games always deliver. Both teams playing well right now. Chiefs are fully back. Bills just blew out my Panthers, so they got their swagger back, of course. The method I took into picking this game was simple, and it's always this way, I feel like. The Bills win in the regular season, the Chiefs win in the playoffs. So for that reason, especially because it's in Buffalo, I'm taking the Bills. But I expect this to be down to like a field goal or 1 point difference. This is going to be cinema. I'm so ready for this game. But yeah, give me Buffalo.
Yeah, modern matchup, like just equivalent to Brady versus Manning. Yeah, really exciting game here. It's like if you're a football fan, this is the game you want to see. Um, but I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I think they're playing better football right now. I like them a lot. I think Mahomes is playing the best football he has in a long time. Not a long time, but for a season and a
Yeah,
half.
in a long time, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks better right now than he looked all of last year,
Yeah.
for sure.
Mhm.
Maybe the year before.
Yeah. But Rasheed Rice and that whole offense is playing really good right now. Um, so I'm going to go with the Chiefs over the Bills. Bills, this is obviously going to be another classic. But I could see the Bills really winning here. James Cook, what a performance last week. Um, really balled out over 200 yards. Um, but yeah, I like Kansas City.
I do too. I think they're the hotter team. I know what the scoreboard said last week for Buffalo, but I think that might blind them a little bit, might give them a little bit of false confidence. And Kansas City is not a team that you can play without a truly objective, prepared mindset. And I think that the Chiefs are right now they're the wrong matchup for Buffalo, who I think continues to be slightly overrated. That defense is not what a lot of people think it is. Those offensive weapons are not what a lot of people think they are. I know how good James Cook has looked, but one good running back is not enough to beat a team like the Chiefs. I don't care that it's in Buffalo. You're looking at a guy whose team marched into Buffalo and upset them, and this wouldn't even be an upset to me. So give me Kansas City.
Okay. Sunday night football time. And why is this Sunday night over Chiefs Bills? I don't know, but we have the Seahawks and we have the Commanders. Yay. Yeah. I don't know who's starting at QB for Washington, but I the vibes have fallen off for the Commanders. After last year, as far as they went, they did virtually nothing to improve that team. I feel like they just said, all right, well, the veterans around Jaden Daniels work, so let's go with it again and let's add some more. Let's bring in Debo Samuel and Laramie Tunsil and call it an offseason. And yeah, it just hasn't worked out, especially when Daniels has been hurt. Mariota really only had one good game. He definitely fooled us that 1 week they played the Raiders and just blew them out. But yeah, Seahawks have been balling. Sam Darnold looks great. JSN looks great. Yeah, give me the Seahawks on the road here. This should be an easy one. Even if Jaden Daniels plays, I feel like, because I think he'll be a little banged up. So yeah, Seahawks.
I agree. I'll go with the Seahawks here. Not much to say. Seahawks are just flat out playing like the better team right now. JSN playing like one of the best receivers in football, if not the best. Um, I like Seattle.
Yeah, so do I. They've been really impressive to me. And Commanders, there's things to begin worrying about because they're going to lose this game and they're going to start to dig themselves a hole that they might not be young enough to dig out of. So on Sunday Night Football, it still is a decent game. Much better, obviously, if Daniels plays. But give me Seattle.
All right. And we finish it out with Monday Night Football, the Cardinals and the Cowboys from Jerry World. Dante, you told us your pick yesterday
Mhm.
outside of WG because we weren't sure we were going to be able to record. So why don't you start us off?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Cardinals here as my upset of the week. One thing I'm bringing up right now, well, give me 1 second. The Cardinals offensively have been playing very, very well. Let me just bring up their past points scored against previous teams. Last week put up 23 against the Packers, then 27 against the Colts, 20 against the Seahawks. These guys are putting up good points offensively, and they're going up against a pretty weak defense in the Cowboys. I do think the Cowboys are going to move the ball in the Cardinals, but this is just a feeling I have. I think the Cardinals are going to go into Jerry World and get the win.
All right. I'll go next. I do disagree. No offense. I have the Cowboys winning this one. You mentioned offenses, and one thing I've noticed is that outside of the Denver game last week, the Cowboys offense has generally looked really good. Dak Prescott, really good quarterback, once again, despite last week. George Pickens fits that system like a glove. He's playing really well there. CD Lamb starting to get back into the swing of things over there. Javonte Williams, I mean, what a reclamation he's been.
Mhm.
I can't talk enough about that. This offseason when they signed him, I was like, oh, okay, fine. But he's been great. Their offenses look good. Their defense does worry me, but I can't get a good read on the Cardinals. Their offense, like you said, has been good, but I just don't know about them. So for that reason, I'm going Dallas, but a Cardinals win definitely wouldn't surprise me because it's the Cowboys. Crazy things happen in Dallas. So, Luke, I'm putting you on the spot here. Break the tie.
Yeah, not a lot of pressure. A Cardinals win would surprise me. I like the Cardinals. I don't believe in them. And I don't really have much reason to believe in Dallas either. This would just be the kind of clown show game they would lose. But after what happened last week, Dak Prescott has had a really good year, all things considered.
Mhm.
I have a bit more confidence in the Cowboys than your average guy, although I'm not gonna be talking crazy about them either. Just a game like this, another. I don't really love that this is on prime time, but we'll see. It would take a giant effort, I think, for the Cardinals to come into Jerryland and pull off this upset. It could happen, but I just don't really see it.
Yeah.
All
Cool.
right. And that does it for season 4, episode 10 of the Weekly Gridiron podcast. We are very thankful that Zoom worked for us today. Shout out Dante for fixing whatever went wrong yesterday.
I still don't know, honestly.
Yeah, it's going to be a mystery forever, but from where you recorded today, it worked. So I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But
True.
we'll be back on the mic next week. As always, we are your hosts, Adam.
Dante?
And Luke.
And stay cool, everybody. Enjoy this week's slate of games.